Good morning. Darla Lejean, real estate agent with Real Broker. Guys, believe it or not, I just got into real estate about 5.5 years ago, and I tell you that because I always had the belief that to buy a home, you needed a minimum of 20% down plus your closing costs. And that is absolutely the furthest thing from the truth. Believe it or not, if you make under $112,000 gross and you have a family of 4 or less, you can buy a home if you have never bought a home before, and if you have decent credit, and if you have been employed for at least 2 years in possibly the same job, not necessarily the same job if you've gotten a promotion or something like that, but generally, you can buy a home with 0% down. 0% down. And if you align yourself with an amazing real estate agent who is great at negotiating and who is great at getting buyers what they need and they deserve, you could potentially go to the closing table with every single thing paid for. It's not a gimmick. It's not a joke. It happens every single day. What's most important for you is if you have a family of more than 4, you make less than $138,000 a year gross. If you have a family of 4 or less, you make less than $112,000 gross. You have decent credit. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have any money in the bank, but you cannot have a whole lot of debt in relation to your take-home pay each month. All right, so something to think about. If you are wanting to buy a home soon, you need to be thinking about, I'm on a mission, I want to buy a home, I want to buy a home, I want to buy a home. And so therefore, if you see a new car that you want, or you see a boat that you want, or you see a side-by-side that you want, or you see clothes that you want, or you want to go on a vacation, those things are put on hold until you close on your first house. Because your priority would be to lower your debt, increase your income, and come up with a plan with a real estate agent who can help you of how to buy your first home. Now, if your credit sucks, or if your debt to income ratio is pretty high, which means you have a whole lot of credit card debt, you might have a vehicle debt, you might have a boat debt, you just might have all this debt, right, in relation to the amount that you take home every month, then you very well will qualify for an FHA loan. You hear lots of people say, I got an FHA loan, and that's because their credit probably sucks, or they have a lot of debt, or they've already purchased a home before, so they don't qualify for the USDA or the 100% financing loan, right? But when there's a will, there is absolutely a way to get it done. If you want to buy a home, then you need to speak to a real estate agent who can guide you in what are your first steps. What do you need to do, right? And if you feel like your credit's decent and you feel like your debt to income ratio is not that high and you feel like I can try to buy a home, then give me a call, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you up with a local mortgage broker, not a bank, because a bank will require you to have 20% down in most cases, but a mortgage broker who only handles home loans. And they have all the most amazing programs out there for first-time home buyers, for second-time home buyers, third-time home buyers, fourth-time home buyers, whoever wants to buy a house, right? But what they're going to do is they're going to pull your income, they're going to run your credit, and they're going to pre-approve you based on those numbers. So some people say, listen, my credit is so bad, I don't want them to pull my credit. If your credit is so bad that you don't want a mortgage broker to pull your credit, then you're right. You shouldn't be buying a house. You should just not be buying a house. Now, the first time the mortgage broker pulls your credit, if another mortgage broker pulls it 3 days later, another one pulls it 3 days later, another one pulls it 3 days later, as long as for a mortgage within a 90-day period, Your credit's taking one hit and one hit only. So what I say is this: if you are in the position where you want to buy a home, you need to buy a home, but you're worried about your credit taking a hit, then number one, you need to get your credit up. Because if you're so scared that it's going to take a hit and you won't be able to buy a house, listen, you're not in the position to buy a house, right? And if you don't know what that magic credit score number is, it's different for every loan type. It's different for conventional, FHA, RD, USDA, VA. It's different. The criteria is different for every loan type. But if you're a veteran and your credit is kind of good, it doesn't even have to be good, really. I've seen some veterans get pre-approved for 100% financing with subpar credit, all right? And those numbers are always changing. So VA is 100% financing, USDA RD is 100% financing, FHA is 3.5% down. Conventional, there are some conventional loans out there that are 0% down, some are 3, some are 5. Don't go to a bank unless you have 20% down and you want to put down 20%. And then I would still say shop around for the best rates, the best terms, the best everything. Because 9 times out of 10, a local bank doesn't have the best program. They just don't. Now, Abbeville Building and Loan in Abbeville, I say all the time, they are freaking amazing. They have great rates. They have low closing costs. They are amazing to deal with. They're an anomaly. If you're thinking about buying land, JD Bank always has amazing programs and they're great to deal with, right? But for a house, a mortgage broker, if you don't have anything to put down, that's okay. You can still buy a house. So listen, remember, with real estate, there are no stupid questions. If you have questions, reach out to me. I'd love to have a conversation with you. I'd love to help you buy a house. And if you're thinking about selling, I love to list homes. And if you're not sure where to get started, give me a call. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Y'all have a great day.